Alright, welcome back to another one. Today we're going to be finding out why the granddaddy of SARMS is in a fucking pre-workout. First up, I want to say a big thank you to my bro, Callan, all the way over in America, who sent this and a whole bunch of other pre-workouts to review. We really fucking appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. So we're going into shady ass territory here with this one. I mean, even the label feels all sticky and squeaky. It's it says shady all over it. I don't think any of the other reviewers are gonna touch this one, so I thought I'd be the right guy to do it. I've had a bit of experience with LGD before, quite a lot of experience actually, so I know what it's all about, but you know, why is it in a pre-workout? What's the sense behind that? Let's not hang about, let's take a quick look at what's in this motherfucker. To put this in simple form, if you're not into doing steroids, then SARMS are possibly your next best thing. And LGD in particular is one of the best for muscle building and, you know, quite a few other things too. There's been a lot of research done on LGD and yeah, to me, this is the granddaddy of SARMS. So we got that coming in at 10 milligrams. So why would we have an anabolic in a pre-workout? Well, it has been shown, anecdotally anyway, that LGD can bring a lot of rage pre-workout. You generally get a shorter fuse and, you know, you get quite aggressive on a course of LGD. So what I think they've done here is just taken that thought of that pre-workout rage and they've put it in the pre-workout. So I get the idea, you know, yes, if you can get that aggression from a product, why not put it into the pre? But is that a good idea? Well, I don't think so. I don't think it's a good idea because, you know, not everybody gets that effect from LGD. Not everybody gets the rage pre-workout. I mean, I've tried maybe about 5 or 6 courses of LGD over the last 5 years, and I don't really get that, you know, specifically pre-workout, you know, I don't get that rage. It's just constant, just fucking rage all the time. So, you know, it's not really something that activates just after taking it. It's something that's built up in the body and then it causes this to happen. You know, off the first dose of it, you know, you're not going to just turn into an angry bear. It takes a while to build up in your system. Do they expect you to take this every day to build up that LGD madness? Well, possibly, but the fact that there's dimethylamylamine in there, which is DMAA, you can't take this every day. So it kind of negates that whole idea. You have to build up the LGD, you know, at least for a couple of weeks before you start seeing anything really significant, you know, be it mentally or physically. But yeah, having DMAA in there, which is, you know, one of the naughtiest of all the stimulants, you just can't take that shit every day. So LGD isn't just a one-shot thing. I mean, like I said, you have to build that up for, you know, you have to do a cycle to get the most out of it. You know, taking it once, it's not going to do anything. It's a game of chance whether you will get a bit, you know, het up or, you know, have a little bit more aggression before your workout starts. But it's totally a game of chance. So having it in there, I don't think there's a point, but you know, that's just my personal thought. Next we have the performance and pump. Well, they're matrices. We don't know exactly how much of each ingredient's in there. So you've got creatine hydrochloride, agmatine sulfate, and beta-alanine. So, you know, if you break it down, there's probably, I don't know, 2 grams of 2, 3, 4, maybe 2.5 grams of creatine, a gram of agmatine sulfate, which is in there for the pump, and a gram of beta-alanine, 2.5, 1 and 1. That'll bring us up to, 4.5. That's what I think's in there. Then we go into energy and focus, which is made up of taurine, caffeine, and dimethylamylamine, which is a tricky word to say, but yeah, that's your DMAA. Now, typical dosages of taurine usually range from 1 gram to 2, maybe 3 sometimes, but we've got 2.5 grams between the 3. And yeah, don't really know. We've probably got 2 grams of taurine in there, and everything else then is made up from the caffeine and the DMAA. So that's what I think is happening there. Then we got test support coming in at 1 gram. We got one of the most useless fucking ingredients ever, D-aspartic acid, vitamin D3 and boron citrate. They're all in there to help boost testosterone, but again, because there's DMAA in here, how can you use those ingredients as any sort of support? Because, you take it one day and that's it. You won't, if this is good, then, you won't be taking it more than once or twice a week anyway. So it negates the whole point in having test support and the LGD really. So that's about it. It's quite an underwhelming looking label, and clearly the selling point for them is the LGD inclusion, which, like I said, if it's a game of chance whether or not it's going to actually bring that aggression pre-workout, then I really don't see the point in it being in there. Now, if you're planning on taking a course of LGD, then, this could be a good idea, but you're going to have a mad-ass tolerance to fucking DMAA at the end of it, and probably some fucking screws become loose from taking it for a month non-stop. So if there is indeed a SARM in here, what about the cost? I mean, for, let's just say, average for a tub of LGD capsules, you're looking maybe 40, 50 quid. Let's just say 30, all right? So your pre-workout on its own, that would probably cost you 30, 40. So how can they afford to put in, 30 days worth of LGD and still make money? Is that LGD even legit in here? There's just no way of knowing. And, if it is in here, then you would expect this to cost, I don't know, $60, $70 just to cover the costs of the LGD and the other ingredients. But I can't find this online anywhere. I don't even know how much this fucking cost. But I'm pretty sure it didn't cost the same as, 2 products, LGD and pre-workout. So before we get into the effects of this thing, let's do the cat test. You ready for this, Claude? All right. So Malicious Labs with a Z. You have to have a Z at the end of labs these days. It makes you cool. All right. Have a sniff of that, bro. You don't mind that? It's very chemical smelling. Who doesn't mind it? You're weird. Okay, 1 scoop it is. Let's get that in there. Alright, Malicious Labs with a Z, jacked. Going down the motherfucking hatch. That's pretty good. That's not bad. That gets probably around about an 8. It's a pretty good flavour. Now, as good as that tastes, I'm not going to drink it all because I've taken this thing like 3 times this week just to, get the information there to see what it's like. I'm not going to drink it again because I just don't think there's any point. I don't get a lot of feeling off this, especially not enough to get a training session done. Now, I think there could well be DMAA in there, because I kind of get that feeling, but I'm not feeling a whole lot else. Performance, just general energy, it's just not there. But there's definitely something going on. Yeah, I think that's actually the only ingredient that you can really feel. The beta-alanine, if that is, if this is correct, I mean, it's usually the greater amount first. So if we have creatine, agmatine, and beta-alanine, then chances are there's only a gram of beta in there, so you're not going to feel any tingling, not from a gram anyway. I wouldn't take this to go to the gym. I wouldn't recommend taking this one at all, really. Unfortunately, the idea is there. That pre-workout aggression, from LGD, that fucking rage that you can get from it, you're just not going to know. Not like this. So I think the idea is kind of there, but yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put it in a pre-workout. That's just crazy. Fuck. That's crazy. I think the LGD is put in there for the aggression and the rage, potentially before the workout, as opposed to the muscle building properties that it has. I would never take this for 30 days to find out if I put on a bit of muscle with it. I would rather just take a course of, legit LGD and, take a good pre-workout. Yeah, the idea is there, but no. So yeah, no training footage or visit to the gym today because, yeah, this just isn't the pre-workout for me, and I don't think it's the pre-workout for you either. So anything that's got SARMS in it or anything else that's pretty shady, I would avoid, because there are plenty better pre-workouts out there and reputable SARMS companies where you can get your shit from. So yeah, if you do come across this one, I recommend you keep walking, and maybe if you want to do some LGD, find yourself a reputable SARMS company and just get a good pre-workout. It'll be better than this one. So again, big thank you to my bro Cal for sending this out to us for review. I'm glad you did. I'm glad I got to try it because, I like to try some of the shit that, nobody else might, want to even attempt. Yeah, I needed to know if it worked or not. If it did work, then I would say so. But yeah, unfortunately, it just didn't deliver on any level really, apart from there being something DMAA like in there, but you can't really apply it to anything. It's not good enough for training. Maybe I don't know what this would be good for. Perhaps the bin, but so yeah, Malicious Labs jacked. Don't get on the case with this one, and we'll see you next time with something that we enjoy, right, boy? So until then,